Good evening. I would like to provide a brief update on the district's return to school status. As we know, our vision of returning to school has always been to safely return all students and staff members to the Warren Township schools. Our guiding principles have remained the same since the spring as we began our planning, prioritizing the health and safety of our students and staff members, encouraging physical distancing, discouraging student cohort mixing, encouraging and improving hygiene practices, and taking into consideration the impact on the mental health and wellness of our students, our staff, and the wider school community, and relying on the most up-to-date scientific data and professional recommendations so that we can make sure that our systems are matching information as we receive it. As always, our plans require us to respond to updated guidance, and we need to make adjustments from time to time. As we know, we reopened in September in hybrid 1.0. In October, we brought back additional students in grades K1 and 2, 5 days per week. And in November, we expanded our preschool program to its full operating status and brought back elementary school self-contained special education students 5 days a week. Several points of pride for the last 3 months. The accommodations we have in place, which include daily health checks, physical distancing, universal masking, enhanced cleaning protocols, enforcement of exclusion and isolation guidelines, hygiene breaks, fresh air ventilation, and single session days, exceed what is expected of us from the state of New Jersey and the CDC. And we know that these protocols are working because the number of total COVID-19 cases that have been reported to the district, 24, represent just 1% of our students and employees. And of those 24 cases, 23 of them have been definitively traced to a source outside of the district. One case may have been contracted from an in-district source, although that has not been confirmed by public health officials. It is only a possibility. There are other mitigating circumstances that will be difficult to isolate. In addition, we have quarantined 96 students and staff members due to being close contacts of an in-district case. Only one of those quarantined individuals showed symptoms that could be a positive case of COVID-19. Thanks to the efforts of our staff, our students are learning. 80% of our students are learning in school facilities right now. And our fall iReady data suggests that at worst, there is minimal learning loss from last year to this year during the school facility closure, but in several grade levels, there were actually significant learning gains, a credit to our staff for their work last spring and throughout the fall this year. And our return to school committee structure, which has been in place since before school facilities closed in March, continues to respond and make improvements as we get new guidelines, survey results, and more. Just as an update to provide accurate information to the community, we see that at most schools, at the elementary schools, we're seeing 80+% of our students in school facilities as of last week in the hybrid. And at the middle school, that has gone down a bit to 74%. Still, our numbers in the district overall at 80% far exceed the in-person learning going on in most places as our students and staff members continue to operate in the hybrid. I should note that these numbers include only what the official status is of a student. If there's a family that is pending a change in the future or is out temporarily due to a travel quarantine or other kinds of quarantine, that would not be reflected here, but we do only have a few people changing status as of January 4th, which is our next checkpoint. Wanted to remind the community that there are 3 different scenarios for how a school would close. The first scenario is that the Department of Health weekly update moves us into a red status, and that would be an automatic closure while we were in red status. It has always been the Department of Health's guidelines that if there are 2 or more cases within a 2-week time period that we can't link to a source outside the school setting, then there would be a recommendation for a short-term closure. This is the reason why Watchung Hills closed before Thanksgiving break, and the most common reason that we're seeing around our area. And finally, if there are so many staff members who are excluded or quarantined due to their own exposures or exposures related to the school district that we can't adequately supervise our students, we could have to make temporary closing decisions. This has been the case in several school districts in our area. Wanted to highlight the process that is used when we receive notification of a positive case. We approach every notification of a presumptive positive as if it is positive, and we report that out to the school community. At the superintendent level, that includes talking with our county health officials, our local health official, our county education officials, and making sure that our dashboard is updated as soon as possible on the same day. And at the building level, our principal, school nurse, sometimes a school counselor work on contact tracing, excluding students who need to be excluded or staff members, and making sure that the information that can be shared is shared. I want to note that we've received some questions and concerns about information not being accessible. There are privacy requirements around medical information. We release as much as we are able to, but we will not be able to provide every parent or every student or every staff member with information about other people's medical situation. And just a couple other odds and ends. We are preparing for the possibility of a red or state-determined closure, although that seems unlikely based on the current data and the current data trends, that we would be able to move into a full distance setting as seamlessly as possible with as little change as possible. We will communicate about that as soon as it happens, if it is to happen. Again, we don't expect that in the immediate future, but we are preparing for it just in case. Our work continues on preparing for the rest of hybrid 1.2, which would include a recommendation to bring back all third grade students 5 days per week, and to bring back self-contained special education students in grades 6, 7, and 8, 5 days a week. We hope to have a proposal related to that ready to go as soon as conditions allow us to make that kind of a move. I implore you to continue reading our Thursday emails. They contain a great deal of information, very extensive updates on what's going on with all kinds of important resources. There is a database on the district COVID-19 website, so you can search by keyword for previous Thursday messages. And with that, I would also encourage you to participate in the surveys. We continue to try different methods to get participation, but we lag on a regular basis. Those surveys come out in the community briefing, and we try to keep them to under 5 minutes. So please do participate and read those messages. And finally, snow days, pertinent to this week for sure. We will have snow days in the Warren Township schools if the conditions call for it, meaning that if we're going to have a large snowstorm, we will close school. There will not be distance learning going on during that time. Students will have the day off. We have them built into our calendar to allow that. That said, the conditions around snow days are always very case specific and unique. And when we look ahead to this week, we know that it's a little bit of a complicated scenario. And so we will make sure that we are getting information out and communicating as early as we can, but we all have to be prepared for that call to come early in the morning with a potential snow day. But we will follow our normal process for snow days to the best of our ability and deal with the late openings and other situations as they arise. More information to come on that in a letter to the community on Tuesday of this week. Thank you for your continued support and attention. Appreciate everybody working really hard to respond to the ever-changing environment that we see ourselves living and working in. Thank you.